Hello and welcome to another Tower of God video. And today we'll be talking about the revolution balance changes for the three characters Evankhell, Ren, and Yuri. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I've been looking forward for this one because I really like Evankhell. And a lot of people have Evankhell because they were on the beginner banner. So Evankhell, a lot of people would have Evankhell either Rainbow 5 or like with a lot of dupes. And Ram was a really popular character during the first anniversary of the game because they worked really well with some of Yihua and they were building up a green team, and Punish Ram was a really big part of that. So actually Ram getting a buff is a really good way to buff the green team. Same with Yuri. Yuri wasn't really big on the green team, but as an assassin unit, I think that like if they can do them right, it will be very good. But either way, they have the before and after for the revolution, but let me pull up the character in game for their skills that they're replacing, because I'm not gonna lie, I will say, oh my god, bro, some of these revolutions were so bad, like genuinely so bad. And like I'm glad they're getting buffs, but the thing about buffs in this game is that they don't really like add enough for them to become broken, but they do add them to make them usable. So they go from like terrible to like okay for the most part. So don't expect anything crazy for those characters, but just it's cool. It's cool. So I have, if I'm on my phone, if you see me like looking down, it's because I'm on my phone. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. But okay. So before tier 4 was for the death sentence, and death sentence is like one of their active skills. So death sentence, what it does is use the powerful flame to deal 400 of her attack damage to the enemy. It lowers defense. It lowers defense and recovers HP, and they can be immune status. So it's pretty. This is like an SSR skill. But this character came out when the game first came out, so they weren't really knowing what they were doing. So we gotta give them a little bit of slack, right? So all it did was just give you HP recovery and It doesn't even lower defense. It just attacks the enemy with the lowest defense, and it heals you. It basically just heals you and stops you from getting hit by side effects. That's it. And before, it just resulted in crit. So this attack that would just basically heal you and stop you from getting hit by side effects, all it did was do crit damage. So it was like whatever, right? But now it hits with crit damage and recover energy, which is good, because you get to use your ult a little bit more, which is good. But anyways, the ult before, okay, it's tier 5. Okay, let's see, tier 5. Evankhell recovers 500 energy when ancient power activates. This is for his passive, not for his ult. So Evankhell's ult is the same. His ult is just does a bunch of damage and they're invincible. Yeah, it just does a bunch of damage and she's invincible. But yeah. But at least you're able to use her ult a little bit more quicker, which is good. But the passive is important because most characters, it revolves around their passive. So for this one, the passive for Evankhell is it decreases HP recovery amount to the target by 50% for 5 seconds. It releases ancient power when her HP drops below 30%, and then that ancient power does a bunch of damage. And then she recover her HP a little bit, and then she increases her attack. So basically, it's kind of like she'll drop to 30%. She gets a huge buff on attack. She can heal, and then she increases her buff, her attack buff. Right? That's it. She does attack, yeah, which is cool. It's kind of like a survivability thing where like, oh, you think the character's dead? No, they'll have one last huzzah before they die. But yeah, okay. So before it would just you get 500 energy, so you'll be able to use your ults more, right? So like you hit 30%, you'll use your passive, the passive will proc, and then you'll ult. So it'll be like a lot of damage back to back, right? But so after, okay, ancient power is enhanced, additionally reducing the hit HP recovery by 40%. I think it's the same. Is it the same? I think it was like, is it the same? I think they decreased it. No, it used to be 50. Oh, it's additionally reduced by 90% HP recovery. Sorry. Releasing ancient power also restores everyone health energy by 1,000% instead of 500. reduces the red element resistance of enemy hit by her attack by 20%. I feel like that's strong, but it does lock her to a red team only, which is not bad because normally you'll like link up Evankhell with Princess Anak anyways, so that Evankhell doesn't die instantly. So you'll have Evankhell, Princess Anak, and then maybe you'll have a I'm thinking about trials here. You'll have like a Xia, and then a Albelda on this side or something. It's okay. I think she'll do a lot more damage, but I don't think she's like broken or anything like that, right? I think she'll just do more damage, which is good. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's okay. Like, she'll do more damage, but I don't think it's enough for you to think that she's like a lot better. And then we have Rem. Rem is a character that people are really looking forward to because of Summer Iqua. But tier 4, I think that's the passive. Yeah, that's the passive for some. That's the Summer Minotaur. That's the Summer Minotaur passive, right? So this is the original passive. At the start of battle, a ram summons the bull, and the bull has its own stat equal to 160% of their stats. While the bull is alive, look would be a resistance and magical resistance increased by 40%. On the other hand, his physical and magical resistance increased for 4% if the bull is dead. And then bull prioritizes attacking Rem's target first. In addition, the bull movement speed increases by 40% and swiftness increases by 40% when Ren is attacked. So basically, it brings a bull. Rem is harder to kill, and then yeah, that's it, right? Before it was just like Rem doesn't get targeted for 6 seconds, which is actually really good because it stops you from getting sniped up by an assassin. You still get hit by AoEs, but it helps a lot. So you can like Rem can actually do stuff. Now it's for 8 seconds instead, and the defense increased by 100%, which is good because that also goes to the bull too. So the bull will get 160% of that 100% buff, which is good. And then Ren's attack is hit by 40% every 6 seconds. Again, that will transfer to the bull. So it just makes the bull hit harder, basically. And Excitement is his ult, and Excitement becomes immune to status effects and teleports and deals 1,200 of his attack as damage to nearby enemies and stuns them. And then the bull would like bite. And now they become invincible, which is, well, before we were just invincibility, which is good, I guess. But now they also ignore magic resistance by 60%, while his Excitement is pretty good. So the ult will do more damage, and the bow will do more damage, essentially, is what Rem's thing is. We'll have to see in game how much more damage they do, but I know that in the higher floors, Rem is pretty much unusable. So at the very least, at least now, they might have some use. Now, Yuri is a character that I love. Actually, Yuri is one of my friend lists, actually. Fun fact. I fucking love Yuri. I'm actually getting a buff, so I'm excited for that. Now, let's look at her. Let me look at her kit. So, before I choose you, I think that is the passive. No, yes, the passive. I choose you. So, the passive used to be, she leaps to the enemy with the highest attack at the start of battle and deals a certain amount of damage, then knocks him down. It's like, it's an assassin. Right, that's it, right? Before it was like she just becomes like invincible until it ends, which actually really helped. Like that was huge for her, because the thing about Yuri is that she kind of stays still. She like teleport and then stay still for like a lot of her things, and that was really strong. That was really big for her. This time she becomes invincible. Okay, additionally, when affected with a defense decreased debuff, which is that's not a very common thing. It's not a very common thing to get a defense decrease debuff. She becomes immune to the effect of her defense decreased by 12% for 10 seconds. It doesn't seem like a very popular thing. I might be tripping, I might be wrong, but I don't think, especially since she's invincible, I'm assuming this is just to help her survive longer when she's out of the invincible state. But they could have done something else. They could have done something else. Anyways, then with her special skill, she basically charges, she provokes people, and she'll just like stay still, and then she'll like do a bunch of damage, right? So Yuri provokes the enemy nearby for 5 seconds, charge ups, and unleashes a solid punch, dealing like 240% of her attack as critical hits 8 times to the enemy team in range and jolts them. The last hit knocks them back target for 2 seconds. Yeah, she'll just do her charge and she'll do like a little and then do a bunch of damage and then they'll like fall to the floor, right? Before it would just physical pierce by 40%. I mean, that's a lot of percentage. That did a lot of damage, but now it's 60%, which is really, really good. And Yuri's attack increased by 60% for 10 seconds while she's charging up. So she'll be doing another like 1200. She'll be doing 1200 increase of attack with her ult, which is really good. Like her ult is gonna do a stupid amount of damage. But apart from that, she's essentially the same. Like the revolution towards her passive didn't really change much from her. But at the very least, her ult will do a lot of damage. But which is what like you want her for, because yeah. But overall, they're okay. I think that Rem might be the winner of all of this, and I think Evankhell is a little bit better, but not like anything too crazy. I think same with Yuri. I think Yuri will be. Yeah, I think Yuri's more situational. I think Yuri will shine more, stat wise, because if you can get her ult down. But I don't think she'll be more impactful than Rem. I think Rem is the real winner in all of this, and I think the Evankhell is good, but I don't think we'll be using her much even with this buff. But I'll use her on trials and see how it goes. But yeah, I don't know, because I feel also you gotta remember the red team is also very stacked, because you had the collab units. You have Bomb. Bomb is still a pretty decent option. You have Jin Song. Jin Song is a really popular character. So red is pretty stacked. So but yeah, I'll have to do some testing and see. But that's generally that kit. But yeah, I think at least now we know what they're looking for when it comes to these characters, right? So but yeah, that's the video, and peace.